I always love to ask my guests this. What do you think happens to the human to the human when we die?
Well, there's been a lot of studies on near death and things, and the guy who wrote the book Saved by the Light, Vince, I spoke with him many times, and I do believe that this isn't the end of it. We know that it weighs about 3/4 of an ounce, because when the body dies, they've done measurements. What's that 3/4 of an ounce? That's the energy that you are. So think about who you are. You're the animator. This is just a vehicle. So, when everybody believes this at funerals. It's amazing to me. You go to a funeral, they go, she's in a better place, or he's in a better place.
Yeah.
Well, then you talk to him 2 weeks later and you say, what they said is better. Oh, that's hogwash. There's no afterlife.
Yeah.
But when you're faced with your mortality, we know the law of thermodynamics said that energy never dies. It just transcends.
Right.
Does this. So I don't know the exact places we go, but I've had so many experiences that I know with certainty that this isn't the end and it's not the beginning, and it goes on into forever.
Right.
And this is just, and I love the way Sai Baba, who is one of the gurus that I spent a lot of time with over in India, he used to say, they go, why do you look like you do? He says, this is just a shirt. He said, to me, this is a shirt I'm wearing. Tomorrow,
Right.
I'll put on another shirt, I'll be someone else. So, in the scope of reality or in infinite time, 100 years is nothing.
Yeah.
So we're going to be somewhere doing something, and we're energy. But
That's right.
And so we see ourselves as these gross bodies, or what I mean by gross, not gross in appearance, but just physically manifest.
Right.
But the reality is we're space. If we took every person on Earth in their solidness, we could fit it in a thimble.
That's right.
So every person on Earth could fit into a thimble with physical space. So we're all nothing. We're all information. We're all energy.
Right.
And when that energy leaves, well, I happened to be in the room when my mentor, the guy that actually, my first publisher, he was a Science of the Mind practitioner. He was like my spiritual guru here in America, because he was also a very successful businessman. So he kind of married the two. And when I first graduated and got in my business, he said, Patrick, you're going to starve to death. Because I had no skills to work with people. You graduate and you think everybody's just going to come to you and
Right.
So he was, but when we were there and he left his body, he was smiling, and he knew with certainty because he had a near-death experience. So in almost every ancient religion, they said that you need to have this experience while you're alive, so you don't fear it when you leave. And so a lot of people have these near-death experiences, and then afterwards, I still remember my dad. Because of what we did, we would get all the weird questions, from the neighbors.
Yeah.
And we were pretty good troublemakers growing up, so the police always knew where we were. We were in a small town called Battle Creek.
Same here.
But they also knew what my dad did. The police officer said when he died, he followed the ambulance to the hospital.
Wow.
They brought him back to life, and he went back in his body. He was the meanest, angriest, irritable person you ever met. Afterwards, he was the nicest person, easygoing. He actually had to quit being a police officer because he couldn't do that anymore.
Right.
So and my dad was a counselor, so he would come to him, and then he was, he came to our group sessions and things like that, and he's talking about, he goes, I still don't know what happened, but I know that I'm not that body. I'm not this body. He said, I followed my body. And so, people have these experiences, and there's one thing that I always wanted to write about was what they call near-death visions. And people that sat with dying patients, they write down what they're seeing, and they usually get met by, they think they're going insane, but now they think there might be a reality to it because people are coming to meet them, calm them down.
That's right.
Hey, you're coming with us now, and whatever's going on there, whether it's a play of the mind or if it's reality, so many people are having the same experience that haven't read the same books.
That's right.
What's going on there? So I'm a firm believer that there's life before this, life after this, that this is only one expression. In fact, I'm of the belief that we're multidimensional, that we're already having multiple experiences at the same time.
We are of like mind, my friend.